Past memory, past memory, past memory. Yeah. We got the tail end of that one, yay. Hey, there's my buddy Nancy.
My first thought was, oh, I'm going to get to hear that one again because that was wonderful. And then I thought, wait, no, I'm not.
Oh.
But I forgot that they announced it. I didn't mean to do it in the middle of your song.
Oh, that's all right. I usually keep my lyric sheet in front of me because I've had brain stuff going on since my treatment, and I made it through without forgetting the lyrics. So I was pretty impressed with myself about that.
I might have to ask you to record that one again for me.
Happily, I will.
Well, welcome Nancy, and welcome Phil, who has stepped away from her computer. And hi, Storm. It's nice to see you. So, Ian, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and sing us a song?
Yeah, I'm from the northeast of England. I'm about 25 miles southeast of the Dun Cow, which is between Sunderland and Newcastle, basically. And as a Dun Cow colleague of mine, John Armstrong, mentioned on here a couple of weeks ago, the north of England is the industrial backbone, shall we say, of England. Until recently, we had a lot of major steelworks, major chemical works, and for 200 years we've been mining coal until, well, people say that it ran out, but I'm not so sure that they closed them down because they're uneconomic. But I'll let the politicians decide about that. But the northeast have always been, as I say, the industrial backbone, and we're starting to build up now with a lot of other things. Nissan car plant, for example, is making cars very, very regular now, and we're doing okay. We used to have shipbuilding here as well on the three rivers, but again, maybe in the 60s, the early 70s, it started to disappear, and the Asians sort of Korea and Japan sort of took the share of that. So yeah, so that's how it is. So I've been playing, shall we say, since about the early 70s, but not entirely on my own. I used to back a couple of guys doing gigs up and down the area, going on hikes and going on folk clubs, but never used to sing until maybe about 15, 16 years ago. So going back to what I mentioned about the industrial heritage, this is my first song I wrote in 2009, and it was basically the 25th anniversary of what we call the UK miners' strike, where the Margaret Thatcher of the day and the unions collided, had problems with the closing down of the pits and the working principles of the pits. But there's always two sides to a story. And this song, not to do with anything political, it just talks about the support that people have given the mining community over the last 100 years or so. So it's called Turn the Wheels, and it basically tells you about the big castles in the sky, like you have nodding donkeys pumping the oil up out of the ground. There's lots of these pit wheels, shall we say. So it's called Turn the Wheels, and you may be able to pick up the chorus, which I'll start with. Turn the wheels from those castles in the sky. Turn the wheels and make us wonder why those pitmen laugh, those pitmen cry. Their devotion and emotional reminder. Turn the wheels. Many collieries have risen, many collieries have fallen. Upon black diamonds, their wealth long forgotten, those backyard palaces shining bright like buttons in the shadow of the motion of those wheels. Turn the wheels from those castles in the sky. Turn the wheels and make us wonder why those pitmen laugh, those pitmen cry, their devotion an emotional reminder. Turn the wheels. Well, they work the seams, ungodly hours to me. A few miles down, then out beneath the sea. The sweat, the heat, the toil, the dust, well, king coal is the key in the shadow of the motion of those wheels. Turn the wheels from those castles in the sky. Turn the wheels and make us wonder why those pitmen laugh, those pitmen cry, their devotion an emotional reminder. Turn the wheels. Now when the shift has ended, the pit head's at its best. Crescendo in the lift shaft, then it's homeward bound to rest. They march ahead like soldiers, respected, proud and blessed, in the shadow of the motion of those wheels. Now the skyline's gone forever, where the children play no more. Severing their lifeblood, there's no heartbeat anymore. There's no community spirit, just an apple without a core, in the shadow of the motion of those wheels. Turn the wheels from those castles in the sky. Turn the wheels and make us wonder why those pitmen laugh, those pitmen cry, their devotion an emotional reminder. Turn the wheels in those castles in the sky. Turn the wheels, make us wonder why those pitmen laugh, those pitmen cry, their devotion an emotional reminder. Turn the wheels. Thank you.
That was a wonderful song.
Thank you, thanks.
So, since everybody's kind of telling about where they live, I'm going to tell about where I live. But see, here's the thing. I used to tell people about this story as an introduction to another song. And then one day I realized, well, there's another song here. So I wrote the song, but I'm going to give you a little tiny bit of backstory. I moved to Texas from New York City, and I thought I was leaving the music behind when I did it. Turned out that was completely wrong. And then I moved to LA because people kept saying to me, well, if you're serious about your music, you should be in LA. And I'm just gullible enough that I believed it. And someone is typing and should be muted. There. Okay, so I moved to LA. It was not a good fit. And as soon as 5 years in, my life blew up and I went, good, I'm going back to Austin. And I went back to Austin, but now my daughter lives here with her husband and her 2 little girls. And I'm going to show you the 2 little girls just for a moment. Here they are. Oopsie. These 2 right here. Okay, so you get the picture. I mean, they live in LA now, and all my feelings about LA kind of went out the window because now those 2 little girls live here. So we're here this week, and we're having a wonderful time, and I'm feeling like oddly homesick for LA. And, you know, and it was not a good fit, like I said. I'm stopping just short of saying I hated it here. So there's just no telling what will happen in your life, and you might as well just give up trying to predict. This is a song about how I ended up in Texas. I left New York City, thought walls and lights were pretty, and wide open space, well, that was Central Park. I pulled into Austin, I thought soon I would be leaving, but a little bit of Texas got stuck here in my heart. The sky's so big it scared me, but the people were so friendly. I kept putting off the date when I would depart for that west horizon, never realizing the longer that I waited, the more leaving would be hard. When I finally hit the road on Highway 10, I said, "So long, Austin, I won't be back again." But I missed Texas every day and every night. I missed Texas, even things I didn't like. I missed Texas and it was tearing me apart, 'cause a little bit of Texas was stuck here in my heart. So there I am in LA, and I'm thinking I've got it made. But every now and then my dreams would fall apart, and the shoulders I could cry on lived in some distant time zone. So I would cry all by myself for the breaking of my heart. Aw. Now I smile and shake my head and say, how silly can you get? What could I have been thinking to be wandering that far? And the man who walks beside me came back so he could find me, and we're both firmly wed to the heart of the Lone Star. When I finally hit the road on Highway 10, I said, make room, Austin, I'm coming home again, 'cause I missed Texas every day and every night. I missed Texas, even things I still don't like. I missed Texas and it was tearing me apart, 'cause a little bit of Texas got stuck here in my heart. Yes, I missed Texas and I will never more depart. That may not be true, 'cause a little bit of Texas, right out of the middle, it's stuck here in my heart. Yeehaw.
Great song, Jan.
Thank you. So we're just going to keep going round and round like this. A quick word before we do. There is a whole nother thing going on in the chat. So if you don't have your chat open, it's the little cartoon balloon down at the bottom of your screen. Click on that and find out what people are saying. One of the things I know for sure they're saying is where you can make a donation to our 3 songwriters today. It will say my name, but it will be split 3 ways at the end of the show, so feel free to donate generously. Okay, Lara, you're up.
Okay. That was fantastic. You know, I never thought I'd live in Texas. I'm from New Mexico originally. And I hit Austin and I didn't want to leave. And then 9/11 happened. And I landed back here in El Paso. My dad was in Las Cruces at the time. My mom lived here. And so I'm going to do a song in honor of my dad, who I lost 6 years ago this week. And it's called Pearls of Wisdom. Somebody needs to mute. Please. Thank you. I have a wealth of riches deep inside this heart of mine. It holds a trove of memories I will treasure for all time. like the smiles he gave that kept me brave and the hugs that kept me warm. Gifts that money cannot buy help me weather my life's storm. His advice flowed like silver and spun my worries into gold. And every prayer he prayed for me brought new riches to behold. And with a gentle touch he conveyed so much and was always more than fair. He filled this treasure chest of mine with jewels priceless and rare. And I am grateful that the good Lord in His grace saw fit to place my daddy here upon this earth. And I have saved and polished up and cherished every single bit of the pearls of wisdom he has given me since birth. La da dee, la da dee, la da dee. He has filled up my treasure chest, and it's a vision shining bright. Generations beyond me now will know his brilliant light. As from his lips spilled the gems I can pass on to my heirs, and they will have a chance to know the many blessings he has shared. And I am grateful that the good Lord in His grace saw fit to place my daddy here upon this earth. I have saved and polished up and cherished every single bit of the pearls of wisdom He has given me since my birth. La da dee, la da dee, la da dee. Pearls of wisdom.
That was
From Ben.
wonderful.
Oh, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you much.
So, Ian.
Right, this is a bit of an up-tempo song. Nothing personal about it. Maybe we've all gone through this in our lives, just going from pillar to post and drinking and whatever, doing things that you shouldn't have done. This is not personal, as I say, but it's called Turn Back the Clock. So you finally left me, says the envelope that's pinned to my door. There's no forwarding address. Is it true you won't be calling anymore? Alone at the bar in the corner, I still can't believe what I've read. My mind's like this pool table playing, the colours riding inside my head. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Give it a go. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Alcohol dumbs down your senses, ecstasy enlivens your brain. They both polarize your emotions, they rip you up and leave you insane. Conversation in here, it is pointless, 'cause this DJ is pumping the night. Is that you by the crack in the window, or a mirage in the haze of the light? Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Smoke rings right is my bedroom, there is making a frown. I stare wide-eyed at the ceiling, hear the streetwise rushing through town. The horns and the sirens, the squealing, so straight from my 17th floor. Just as clear as this heartbreaking silence, why did you have to walk out the door? Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Now the pain I feel is electric, existing alone is a crime. I'm beginning to sound so eclectic by ignoring your calls for my time. I'm recovering and feeling so high on rejection of love. They'll bury me of the painful reminders to come. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Last minute departure, you're travelling light. Turn back the clock, start all over, I need you tonight. Heck you.
Yeah, great. Ian.
Bravo, Ian.
What a great song.
I get so spoiled on this show. One beautiful song after another. So I'm going to write you one I wrote after my arrival in LA. While I was still hopeful. When those gray skies seem to be falling in, when the hard times get harder and the good times grow thin, don't let that old rocky road rock you off of your feet. One day you'll be dancing down easy street. You gotta hold on, 'cause one day you'll have it all. If you hold on, One day you'll be dancing down Easy Street. One of my friends actually built the house they've been talking about building in the country while I was in LA. And then the city that they lived in, it's really just a small town. They named all the driveways out there in the country. And the name of their driveway was Easy Street. And she told me her street sign gets stolen about once a month. Well, too many times your tears go by. There have been too many roads paved with too many lies and promises dripping gold, honey sweet. One day you'd be dancing down Easy Street. You gotta hold on, 'cause one day you'll have it all. If you hold on, one day you'll be dancing down Easy Street. Well, somewhere there's rainbows shining in the sky, and those dollar bills, well, they float on down before your eyes, and the last piece of your puzzle will make your life complete. One day you'll be dancing down Easy Street. So you gotta hold on, 'cause one day you'll have it all. If you hold on, one day you'll be dancing down Easy Street. One day you'll be dancing down Easy Street.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Great song, Jan.
Thank you.
That was excellent. Okay, my turn, I reckon. I'm gonna play an oldie for you, one of my oldies. I don't know if y'all have heard it. Maybe. I know Nancy has. This is a song about longing. I was in a particularly longful, mournful position the night I wrote this song, and I was in Austin, and it's called Want You Near. When the morning comes and I'm left here all alone, it's then you creep into my thoughts to turn me on. So quietly you're here, and through me sweeps the roar of forgotten passions and desirous appeal. You move around me, but you'll never even hear. You dance in circles, I can feel the moving air. Inside my head you've taken hold, and I want you near. I would love you here. Working midday rush, there sometimes comes a hush, so silent I could swear I felt you whisper in my ear. But then I turn around, and there's nothing but the sound of Traffic jam confusion and 500 sirens blare. You move around me, but you'll never even hear. You dance in circles, I can feel the moving air. Inside my head you've taken hold and I want you near. I would love you here, I would love you here. I want you near. Want you near. You move around me, but you'll never even hear. You dance in circles, I can feel the moving air. Inside my head, you've taken hold, and I want you near. I would love you here. When streams I fall, my last thought tells it all as I drift with sensual delight into your arms. Asleep, you're here again. I only wish that when I awoke I would find you lying right here by my side. You move around me, but you'll never even hear. You dance in circles, I can feel the moving air. You move around me, but you'll never even hear. You dance in circles, I can feel the moving air. Inside my head, you've taken hold, and I want you near. I would love you here, oh, I do want you near. Want you near. I want you near. Some of the chords got lost in that one.
Beautiful. We'd never have known it. That was beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, I was doing harmonies.
I love it. Thanks, Nancy.
Nancy. Yeah. I kept looking to see if you were the Nancy I thought you were, and I just heard your voice. And I know Nancy. Well, it's nice to see you.
Nancy Scott, but it won't let me.
Oh.
I tried a few. It
No,
did at the poker the round table yesterday. It let me change it, but then it came back Nancy today. So it wants to be there. It's fine with me.
Well,
I'm
it's
glad
great to see you. So, Ian.
Right, yeah, I'll continue with a song. I mentioned where I'm northeast of England. I'm basically about 250 miles north of London, if you like, directly north on the east coast. Which it leads me into my surname. It's pretty easy to track your ancestors. I've gone back a bit, but I tried my mother's surname, which is Gorham, and their family are from just over the river from Dundee in Scotland, which again from me is about 150 miles north, again on the east coast. And my great-great-grandfather was from north of London, and he was in the coasters on the ships between the Thames and the Forth, what Edinburgh stands on. Eventually he moved up back to Edinburgh, or moved into Edinburgh, and then later on he moved up to Dundee, where he became a whaler. Came in about early 1800s, when of course whaling was a matter of life. I know it's different now, but that's what sustained people. So this is a song I wrote about him, called the Dundee Whaler, and it says it's got a bit of a. I like to be descriptive, and put a chorus. Apologies if you don't know the geography up in Scotland. It does tell you about a few towns and cities in there, but I'm sure you'll know where Iceland and the Orkneys and Shetland is, so you'll be fine.
Hey, if they watch Outlander, they will know exactly where everything is.
That would be all right. Just Google it, it'd be great. I'm a proud Dundee whaler, on Belainer I'm bound, for the chill of the Norwegian sea. Past the Fraserburgh fishermen, coming to land their silvery prize to the quay. Between Orkney and Shetland we strike for the pole, with a headwind contorting your brow. There's a charging white horses disguising the swell, and the Faroes just off the port bow. And it's upward and onward, the ocean before us. It's tough for a hard-drinking sailor. Upward and onward, the Tay far behind us. That's the life of a cold-blooded whaler. Well, as the glass picks off Iceland, the Arctic appears, and the gales throw the ship to its side. Those sleek contoured images echo your dreams. You get tossed as the compass goes wild. We scan the salt seas for those great Greenland whales, the sperm whale, the bowhead and the fin. 20 tons of aggression and 50 feet long. It's a fight you endeavour to win. And it's upward and onward, the ocean before us. It's tough for a hard drinking sailor. Upward and onward, the Tay far behind us. That's the work of a cold-blooded whaler. Well, with your prize shackled down to the stern of the ship, and the mizzenmast finally unfurled, where Atlantic and Arctic do merge into one, to the south we've eventually turned. So it's to bonny Dundee with its valuable hoard, its oil and its meat, bones and skin. By the ferry port west lights onto Camperdown Quay, where we'll meet all those lasses again. And it's upward and onward, the ocean before us. It's tough for a hard drinking sailor. Upward and onward, the Tay far behind us. It's the work of a cold-blooded whaler. Yes, it's upward and onward, the ocean before us. It's tough for a hard drinking sailor. Upward and onward, the Tay far behind us. That's the work for a cold-blooded whaler.
Yes.
There's no excuse to get out your boat and start fishing.
Your ancestors would be proud. Nancy is also a wonderful singer-songwriter, and I just asked her if she was interested in being on this show, and she said yes. So watch for Nancy at some point in the very near future. Nancy Scott, since her Zoom won't tell us. I'm going to change the pace just a little bit. I don't have any wailing songs, I'm afraid. This has been a week for this. I keep a bust of Beethoven Before me on the piano, I keep a bust of Beethoven to remind me that even in calamity, tomorrow still holds possibilities. So I keep a bust of Beethoven where I'll remember. I keep a bust of Beethoven where I can see. I keep a bust of Bach before me on the piano. I keep a bust of Bach to remind me that though the task is difficult, it still can yield a fine result. So I keep a bust of Bach where I'll remember. I keep a bust of Bach where I can see. And Chopin could not go home, and Mozart died in poverty. So many of them died so very young, and still they left us with so much beauty. So I keep a bust of Brahms before me on the piano. I keep a bust of Brahms to remind me that though your heart is breaking, your art can still be your saving grace. So I keep a bust of Brahms where I'll remember. I keep a bust of Brahms where I can see. I keep a bust of Beethoven, and I keep a bust of Bach, and I keep a bust of Brahms where I can see. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thanks. I really do, by the way.
Really? Wow. Wow.
I figured. We figured.
Well, I'm sure all of you have heard it's been kind of a rough week here in Texas with the loss of quite a few young lives. I wrote this song during the pandemic last year because I was deeply distressed by people not being able to say goodbye to their loved ones, and it seems kind of appropriate to sing it now in honor of all those children and the two teachers that were gunned down by a crazy person with a military-style weapon in Uvalde. This is a song about unresolved grief, and it's called My World with You Gone. If I never get to kiss your lips again, would the earth stop spinning round? If I never get to hold your hand again, all of the raindrops would still hit the ground, but my world would lose its rotation. My world would go upside down. In my world, no drops for the garden's aspirations, and a bad dream loop would run till the dawn. This would be my world with you you gone. Yeah, this would be my world with you gone. If I never get to gaze into your eyes again, would the sun fall from the sky? If I never get to feel your warm embrace again, all of the sparrows would still sing and fly, but my world would be dark and dreary. My nights would be void of stars. In my world, warblers would be jeering, and an eternity's what the minutes are. In my world, with you gone. This would be my world with you gone. This world carries on and on and on and on, even as lives cease to be. Your essence will always be the masterpiece on the canvas at the center of me. Eternity is what the minutes are in my world with you gone. Yeah.
Wow, Lara.
Beautiful.
I know it's kind of heavy. I apologize. I just had to put it out there.
Hey.
And
If you're going to write a sad song, make it gorgeous. So you did all that.
thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm just still heartbroken from everything this week, and it's kind of rough. I know the parents of all those kids are really... Okay, I'm muting now.
Just making sure this is tuning, right? This is a song that probably wrote about a couple of years ago. I'm a great fan of, I was going to say Neil Young, but I like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but Neil Young, I like them. Him and Stephen Stills. And I was listening to one of his greatest songs, The Needle and the Damage Done, where it's inspired me to sort of write this song. And it's called Just Before Midnight. I'm sure... Well, I'm not saying you may know people that are like this, but I'm sure you've seen them on the streets, which is a shame, because no matter how old you are, whether young, old, or in the middle, it's drugs being a bit of a blight on everybody's life. But you don't know what. Hope it eradicates it somehow. This one's a bit out. I'll just that's better. It's 1:45, the same time as last night, that you come striding down the strip. Your left hand's got Marlboros, your right clutching sparklers, ready to get down on your next darn hit. Neil Young is belting out the needle and the damage done. Feel young, but don't go around destroying everyone. It's about 10 to midnight. It's the same time as last night, when the energy is rising on your beat. The music's electric, the sound so eclectic, but your head has just parted from the street. Neil Young is belting out the needle and the damage done. Feel young, but don't go around destroying everyone. It's now 5 to midnight. It's the same time as last night, when the liquor and the crystals drive full swing. This bar is relentless, this rapper's pretentious, as the sweat and the heat of the night kicks in. Neil Young is grinding out the needle and the damage done. Feel young, but don't go around ignoring everyone. Well, now it is midnight, and the same time as last night, when you're buzzing and you're humming like this neon town. You seem so defenseless, your life's so rebellious, it'll take you an hour or two to come down. Neil Young is belting out the needle and the damage done. Feel young, but don't go around ignoring everyone. Neil Young is belting out the needle and the damage done. Feel young, but don't go around ignoring everyone.
Wow,
Very good.
Ian.
Great song.
Wow. So the time has come to ask, Ian, where will you be playing next, and where can people find you online?
Well, I'll be tomorrow. I know I'll just mention to Penny. We've got the Dun Cow tomorrow. I can't remember whether it's live or not, but I'll try my best to get on whichever way. Back home where I live in near Redcar, we have, which is a home live session called Saltburn Folk Club, which is basically in Signals, which is a pub just above the Saltburn station. So that's every Monday, and there's also a lot of things going. There's an Americana in Gisborough up here on a Tuesday. It's quite busy. unfortunately, there's one or two on YouTube which goes back a long time, but I don't sort of record myself apart from. I've got two. I had two CDs out for prostate cancer, but they're all sold out, which is good. I think there was 75 in each batch, so that was about over the last 4 or 5 years. So that was okay. Some of those songs that I've mentioned were already on, but yeah, I said at the beginning, there's been a lot of the last 2 years these Zoom sessions which everyone they're reluctant to stop because we've made so many friends, and you can be anywhere any night of the week. I couldn't make Phil's tonight at the Jerusalem one. I've been doing a guest spot on Phil's or a hot spot on Phil's. Great clubs because you see a lot of different people and a lot of genre of music. So and it keeps you going, you know. I've got the Queen's Jubilee next week, which some of you know. We've got a do next week at Saltburn, which I'm performing there next Sunday, and then the week after that, on the Saturday, every June we have the people in the UK will know this, the RNLI, it's the Lifeboat Association, and they run on donations. They're lifesavers, and it's a weekend session where people like me go and sing 15 minutes at a time in about half a dozen bars and cafes with a big bucket, and they go and put donations in, and then I'm appearing at the club on the night. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So it's going to be busy the next 2 weeks.
That's great. Busy's good. And Lara, how about you? Where are you going to be playing next, and where can people find you online?
Well, I don't have Facebook, and I have a few things on SoundCloud, but not very many. I'm not that tech savvy, and I need to find a helper to get me doing that. I do have a CD out, and if I have copies of it here if you're interested in having one. I give them away in honor of my friend Keith Sims, who was inspirational and actually opened his home so I could record 14 of my songs onto this home called Paths of Memory. And if you want a copy, just throw your email in the chat and I'll take it down. And not your email, well, send your email, and that way I can get your mailing addresses and send them out, because I don't charge for them. I just give them away in honor of Keith. I do play at Folk of the Roundtable on Saturdays with Dr. Penny Grennan as our glorious leader most weeks. And I imagine if you'd like to get an email to attend that on Saturday, you can pop that into the chat. That's it. I play at home and on Zoom, and I'm really I'm in the studios now. I'm in the studio now recording some of my new stuff. So I'm trying to formulate how I'm gonna get that out. I'm looking at Bandcamp and some other things. So I'll put my email in here, and if anybody wants to contact me for a copy of Paths of Memory, feel free.
Great. Okay. Speaking of which, specify that you're putting your email for Lara's, an opportunity to connect with Lara. But I was just going to invite you to also put your email in the chat if you'd like to know about the shows that are coming up. That I send out a list of what's going to be happening each month. I know the next one is Amy Dixon Kohler, who is somewhere in Michigan, and Dave Mason, who is in the Northeast, both of whom are spectacularly wonderful songwriters, and I know that you'll enjoy the show. I've got stuff lined up well into July, and it's all like you're going to get really spoiled. So, like I have. So, yeah, if you want to know about that, put your email in the chat and specify that that's why you're putting it there. And if you want both, say that too. And we'll all be saving our chats. So I'm going to do Yeah, I discovered this song this week. It's not mine. It was written by Cheryl Wheeler. She's one of my favorite writers, and this definitely solidified her position in my go-to somebody I want to listen to book. Maybe it's the movies, maybe it's the books, maybe it's the bullets, maybe it's the real crooks, maybe it's the drugs, maybe it's the parents, maybe it's the colors everybody's wearing, maybe it's the president, maybe it's the last one, maybe it's the one before that, what he done, maybe it's the high schools, maybe it's the teachers, maybe it's the tattooed children in the bleachers, maybe it's the Bible, maybe it's the lack, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the crack, maybe it's the heroes, maybe it's the TV, maybe it's the cigarettes, maybe it's the family, maybe it's the fast food, maybe it's the news, maybe it's the divorce, maybe it's abuse, maybe it's the lawyers, maybe it's the prisons, maybe it's the senators, maybe it's the system, maybe it's the fathers, maybe it's the sons, maybe it's the sisters, maybe it's the moms, maybe it's the radio, maybe road rage, maybe El Nino or UV rays, maybe it's the army, maybe it's the liquor, maybe it's the papers, maybe the militia, maybe it's the athletes, maybe it's the ads, maybe it's the sports fans, maybe it's a fad, maybe it's the magazines, maybe it's the internet, maybe it's the lottery, maybe it's the immigrants, maybe it's the taxes, maybe big business, maybe it's the KKK and the skinheads, maybe it's the communists, maybe it's the Catholics, maybe it's the hippies, maybe it's the addicts, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the sex, maybe it's the homeless, maybe it's the banks, maybe it's the clear cut, maybe it's the ozone, maybe it's the chemicals, maybe it's the cell phones, maybe it's the fertilizer, maybe it's the nose ring, but maybe it's the end. But I know one thing, if it were up to me, if it were up to me, if it were up to me, I'd take away the guns.
Women. Amen.
Thank you.
That's great.
Wow,
That's great.
that was awesome.
Never heard that one.
She's a fabulous writer.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to have Kerrville this year.
Oh, yeah?
It's very elusive.
I'd have to go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
Yes.
it's your turn, Lara.
Whoopsie. I'm trying to sort out typing in the chat, and if folks will email me at the email I put in there with their mailing address, I will send a CD out to you. This is what I was trying to organize to type in there, which my typing skills aren't that great either. But I decided I wasn't going to do that last song because it's kind of heavy. So I've decided to do just up and happy tunes for the rest of the hour. So this one is called Summer Smile. It was inspired by my many visits on Memorial Weekend to Hippie Hollow in Austin, and just watching the hummingbirds around here. And anyway, it's called Summer Smile. Long bright days of winter bring to me a smile. I watch the hummingbird show off her swift wing style. They dart and they hover on the breeze, brushing by my cheek as I sink into the green grassy carpet so soft under my feet. A summer smile brings up a rush from my soul. It is of me, so young, and it is me growing old. It is all of my love, rolled up warm and inviting. A wide summer smile is for sure, pure joy inciting. The waves off the lake slap a gentle rhythm on the shore, tickling my toes all the while sweet melodies do soar. The laughter of the revelers across the water lifting through the air does carry a remedy for the suffering we as humans share. The summer smile brings up a rush from my soul. It is of me, so young, and it is me growing old. It is all of my love, rolled up warm and inviting. A wide summer smile is for sure, pure joy inciting. It's simple to put on a summer smile, all of your own, yeah. No need to worry or fake it or be stoned. Oh, just turn the corners of your lips up toward the clouds, and then let your happy bubble out, bubble out.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oops. Back to me. It's funny how it all goes round in circles, doesn't it?
It is.
Mentioned the Jubilee next week with our Queen. Frail as she's getting, hopefully she'll be able to celebrate in where she needs. Every November, more people are here on the UK will know, on the 11th day of the 11th month of the 11th, the armistice was signed, the end of the outbreak of the war, First World War, and the Sunday that's nearest the 11th, in the cenotaph in London, the Queen and the royal family usually attend with all the services and the veterans a poppy wreath laying ceremony. And normally, apart from last year, they say she's getting a bit frail, she attended the eve before, the Saturday evening. She attends the Albert Hall, which is, if people don't know, it's a massive venue, Royal Albert Hall, and it stages this memorial for all the past the soldiers and the services. And our local club also has a local night near that 11th of November to commemorate the fallen. And about 10 years ago, a pal of mine, he's a bit of a poet called Vince Parker, wrote this poem, and he read it out, and I asked him if I could pinch it and put some music to it. So I did. So this is what's called Red Petals, and the culmination of the evening at the Albert Hall is when they have the minute's silence. I don't know how many. Every petal that comes down from the roof commemorates a person who's fallen in the war, and obviously as conflicts get more and more, it gets bigger and bigger. So this is called Red Petals. I didn't want to be a poppy, said the soldier, and die upon that battlefield alone. I would have rather grown up with my children and see them raise a family of their own. So when you see all those blood red poppies fall silently in the Royal Albert Hall, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Yes, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Well, I hope you use this hard-won peace real wisely, because too many comrades heard death's drum, and these terrible wars that now have ended the lives of many fathers and many sons. So when you see all those blood-red poppies fall silently in the Royal Albert Hall, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Yes, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Do not shed too many tears for me, but listen. Do not start another war in my own name. And remember, when those battle cries have ended, that it's peace and it's not me that shall be slain. When you see all those blood-red poppies fall silently in the Royal Albert Hall, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Yes, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. And if when you look studying my picture, you remember well the young man that you see, just let those crimson poppies of old Flanders gently fade away to history. When you see all those blood-red poppies fall silently in the Royal Albert Hall, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Yes, imagine every petal as a soldier once that their country's called. But when you see all those blood-red poppies fall silently in the Royal Albert Hall, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Yes, imagine every petal as a soldier who answered their country's call. Thank you.
Wow.
Wow, Ian. Nice. Really nice. Is everyone else feeling really fortunate to be here this afternoon?
Yeah.
I sure am. So two things I wanted to say. What Lara failed to mention is Hippie Hollow is where we all used to go skinny dipping. And that was what it was famous for. And in fact, people, when I first arrived in Austin in the early 70s, people used to get arrested at Hippie Hollow for going skinny dipping because Sheriff Frank didn't look kindly on it. And they finally made it, the city declared it a place to go skinny dipping. So of course, we all moved out to the Pedernales River instead. Because that's, you know, I'm a reluctantly reformed hippie myself, so, and I'm not all that sure about being reformed. And Albert Hall was made famous in the movie Yellow Submarine, you may recall. How many holes were there in Albert Hall? I can't remember exactly how the line went. So we all know about Albert Hall, right? We know it's got holes one way or another. And I just stumbled across something that maybe you want to know. Today is the birthday of John F. Kennedy. Yeah. So that's kind of apropos of nothing, but there it is. So I have this project. It's on my website at janseides.com in the store. The album was called Unsung. And it was stories from the Bible that you never got to hear because the people telling them never got asked to tell their story. Or they did tell their story and it got relegated to the Apocrypha and taken out of the Bible by male authorities at some point. So as you can imagine, those stories are mostly women's stories, but not all of them turned out that way because there was a point when I just started, the songs just started writing themselves and I was no longer in charge of who they were about. And I made the CD and I thought, okay, that project's done, now what? And then somebody came up to me and said, you ought to turn this into a book. So I turned it into a book with illustrations by myself and Vanessa Lively, who lives here in Austin and does fabulous watercolors. And I was very pleased with how my little line drawings came out with her watercolors behind them. And then I thought, well, I'm done with this project, now what? Well, here's what. That project is once again morphing, this time into a musical. And the song I'm about to play you, which is a total change of pace from what you did, Ian, did not make it onto the album because my producers decided it was too tongue-in-cheek, but it's definitely in the musical, and this is it. Long ago, by the river Nile, where the mighty pyramids dwell, home of Osiris and Isis. Folks say I caused a crisis. I'm the princess whose story they tell. One day as I bathed in the river, from a tiny reed boat came a cry. So this Pharaoh's daughter pulled the boat from the water, and I saved the baby inside. And baby, now you must call me Mommy, and I'll make a prince out of you. You'll call me Mommy, and I'll call you Moses, 'cause really, what harm could it do? I can almost hear y'all thinking, yeah, that's famous last words, which is true. But I'm Daddy's treasure, and I'll just put on some pressure, and you can tut-tut as much as you want to. I said, Daddy, yeah, he's an Israelite kid, but he'll never learn that from me. I'll say I'm his mother, and his daddy's my brother. Folks expect that from us royalty. And he will call me Mommy, and he'll do what I tell him to. He'll call me Mommy, and I'll call him Moses. Come on, Dad, what harm could it do? So of course Dad said yes. What else could he say? Shh, no one tell Moses about DNA. But now Daddy is drowned in the sea, and everyone says such a shame. Baby erupted in our lives, he disrupted, but I don't see how I am to blame, 'cause he just called me Mommy, and I made a prince out of him. He called me Mommy, and I called him Moses. Just think how it might have been. My story is ended, but not as intended. All 'cause no one taught Dad how to swim. There. Thank you. Thank you for indulging me.
Call me Mommy. Yep. Okay, so here's a song off my CD, Paths of Memory, and I'm gonna send it out to Nancy. Thanks for coming, Nancy. She sings harmony on this song on the CD. It's called I Know We Can. The same chords strike in each one of us, and where we want to go, I know we can. Even when the sadness has me so low, I know we can. Raise that heel up and bring it back down again. In time, I know we can, I know we can. Pick your glasses up, tap them together. We are speaking on the heart of the matter. When it moves you to your very core, we're opening up now. The air is rushing in. We'll never stop, no, once our growth begins. And if we fall, well, we'll just get back up again. We'll get back up again. I know we can. I know we can. You'll never know about some folks. They'll try to put us down. Oh, but I know we can. We'll pick it up and we will spin this place around. Oh, they, yes, they will know we can. I am speaking of loving each other right now. I know we can, I know we can. All the feelings will keep us together. We'll be swimming in music forever. When it moves you to your very core, we're opening up now. The air is rushing in. We'll never stop, no, once our growth begins. And if we fall, well, we'll just get back up again. We'll get back up again. I know we can. Boom, I know we can. Boom, boom, boom. We're opening up now. The air is rushing in. We'll never stop, no, once our growth begins. And if we fall, well, we'll just get back up again. We can always get back up again. I know we can. I know we can. I know we can. I know we can. I know we can.
Nice. That was
Oh, nice, Lara.
Thank you.
Lara.
Nancy.
Woo.
Thank you.
Every time you go up in your high voice, it makes me smile. You have such a pretty voice.
Right, this is another, well, they're all songs of mine, I guess, all these, and yours and Jan's. And this is a song I wrote maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, just before the pandemic. When you're lonely and lying in your bed, eyes wide open, darkness in your head, your body's aching, it yearns to be away, your heart is breaking, you have so much to say, so much to see. come with me. As the eagle glides above the setting sun, the stag is restless before his evening run. When the streams reflected the last rays of the day, those cliff-top colours will spread around the bay for all to see. Come with me. Just want to hold you, don't want to hold you down. Don't want to hurt you, don't want to turn you round. Just want you near me, I can't bear you walking from me. Come with me. Fireflies will be dancing around the crescent moon. Nightingales will echo their plain but haunting tune. The chorus of the night will hold your perfume to the breeze. Crescendo of the tide will call above the rustling trees for all to see. Come with me. Underneath the starlight, come lay with me a while. Take me in your arms because I need your precious smile. Above the sea's horizon, those diamonds in the sky will celebrate our dreams, oh we won't need to wonder why. So much to see. Come with me. Just want to hold you, don't want to hold you down. Don't want to hurt you, don't want to turn you round. Just want you near me, I can't bear you walking from me. Come with me. So when you're lonely and lying in your bed, eyes wide open, darkness in your head, your body's aching, it yearns to be away. Your heart is breaking, you have so much to say, so much to see. Come with me.
Very good.
Beautiful, Ian.
Oh, gorgeous song, Ian. Fantastic.
So, yes, in answer to your question, Nancy, we have people here from Israel. We have people here from the UK. We have people here from Texas. We are truly worldwide. which
No,
I get a
that's
big kick
fine.
out of.
I was only
And-
trying to write that in, and then yeah, I
and
see people.
Greenfield, Massachusetts.
I met some of the y'all from Duncal. I was going to that for a while, and then is it still happening?
Every other week, yes. The Monday in between my shows is when the Dun Cow happens on Monday online. They happen every Monday, but the ones online are the ones that are in between my two shows, or in between two Jerusalem song circles. Yeah, it's all from your point of view. So I wrote a bunch of songs for a friend of mine who I think is still online on the Facebook version of this show. His name is Patrick Michael. You know, I haven't used his last name in so long I can't remember it, but he is very passionate about climate change. And as a result of talking with him, so am I. I always was you know, I was going to do this other song that's kind of set in the Stone Age, and I was also an anthropology major, and it drives me crazy how people seem to think that we're the smartest now that we've ever been, and everybody that was in the generations before us was, poor things, just a little, yeah. No, they weren't. They might not have had our technology, but we're getting a fairly large dose of just how smart we are. So, but that isn't what this song's about. This song is about it's one of my favorites of the ones that I wrote for Patrick's use for the climate change effort, or actually the change the climate change effort. He said something about this, and I thought, well, okay. And then somebody else that day said something about this, and I thought, that's interesting. We were just talking about that. You know how you do. And then the third person said something about it, and I thought, I think I'm supposed to write a song here. Magnetic fields fight their way across the sky to show us brilliant colors, the northern lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here, how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. The home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into lights that show us dance above the planet to dazzle human eyes, and we are all reminded of vast eternity, how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be in the home we share. The northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lean back on the hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us, with their shimmering towers, how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours, and the home we share. The northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us.
Yeah, very good.
Beautiful.
We have time for one more each. I want to thank everybody for being here to witness this wonderful show so that you'll know I didn't make it up. Lara, what's your parting shot?
Okay, I'm gonna, let's see, shuffle this over here and do my newest song. Some of you have probably heard it. It's called You Gotta Have Faith. But I need a capo. Yes, okay. And hopefully that is in tune a little bit. All right. It's kind of a sing-along kind of thing. When you make that wish on a bright shooting star, believe it will come true. It's the nature of the beast, though you may think it is bizarre. The universe works for you. You gotta have faith. You gotta hang tight. You gotta take aim and keep it in your sight. You gotta have faith. You gotta hold tight. You gotta believe it with all of your might. When you toss that coin into wishing well, picture your perfect outcome. You gotta see it and believe it, all doubt must be dispelled. That's the basic rule of thumb. You gotta have faith. You gotta hang tight. You gotta take aim, keep it in your sight. You gotta have faith. You gotta hold tight. You gotta believe it with all of your might. Keep it in your sight. Believe your mind with all of your might. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's not easy to drown out the noise. Anybody can tell you. Take aim, make your choice. There's not one thing that can stop you. Nothing will stop you. Nothing can stop you. There's no stopping you. No. Wow, wow. You gotta have faith. You gotta hold tight. You gotta take aim. Keep it in your sight. You gotta have faith. Hold tight. Believe in your mind. Yeah, have faith. Hang tight. Believe with all of your might. Have faith. Hang tight. Believe with all of your might. Keep it in your sight. In your mind. With all of your might. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There you go.
Lovely.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you so much. For
Oh,
the
it's
invitation to
so
be
my
here.
pleasure.
Thank you all for coming.
So, Ian, what do you have as your final words?
This,
Just for this show, not for anything else.
I've just said, echoing what Lara, thank you very much for inviting us both to do this. It's been a great evening, a bit opportunity to do an extended spot. It's on Zoom, and it's great that you invite other people. I know Jackie's been on, and a few others, and John Armstrong that I want to see the other week. It's a great opportunity, and I hope that people are watching come back, and who are recording, listen to the recording, also come back. I know Jerusalem, it's what, it'll be midnight, or sorry, it's 1 o'clock now, so Marcia and Phil have gone, and it's great they started up at 11 o'clock. But
you can't imagine how excited I get when somebody that I admire in one of the song circles says yes when I invite them to this. So
it's
trust me, my pleasure.
It's your time as well. It's great. Anyway, this is Because It's Spring. It's a song of mine called Winds of Spring. Over here, some of the blossoms are moving, but that's nature. Got my nose running, sorry about that. I'm sitting here looking through the park. It's strange, it's nearly dark. I'm waiting for the nightingale to sing. My bench is dry as showers hit the ground. It's silent, but the sound is only of the winds of spring. And the blossom falls and floats down from above, colours fading fast just like our love. And the dandelion clock I've blown is empty, time stands still. Well, the daffodils and the tulips stand forlorn, their backbones weakened by the storm, an untimely parting of two. And new dawn beckons from beyond the lake, a new life I will take as the mist creeps o'er the morning dew. And the blossom falls and floats down from above, colours fading fast just like our love. And the dandelion clock I've blown is empty, time stands still. Now the oak stands proud, the poplar stretches high, silhouetted in the sky, sunbeams gently fading away. A tiring rainbow colourfully frowns, helping bring the curtain down on yet another restful day. And the blossom falls and floats down from above, colours fading fast just like our love. And the dandelion clock I've blown is empty, time stands still. Well, I'm sitting here looking through the park. It's strange, it's nearly dark. I'm waiting for the nightingale to sing. My bench is dry as showers hit the ground. It's silent, but the sound is only of the winds of spring. And the blossom falls and floats down from above, colours fading fast just like our love. And the dandelion clock I've blown is empty, time stands still. Time stands still. Time stands still. Time stands still. Thank you.
How lovely, Ian.
Wow. Woo.
That was so nice. Time really did stand still. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. There's always, I know, in everybody's life, a moment of doubt, maybe a very long moment of doubt. And the answer to that is, of course, you're enough. All the lessons you learned are gold. All the scars where you're healed are strong. You may once or twice have been broken, but you've done nothing wrong. All the outcomes that didn't match, all your plans and all your dreams, all that beauty you think you lack is right there for all to see. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you you. And the cracks are there 'cause your light shines, your light shines. The prompt for this was cracked. And I saw these beautiful Japanese pots where if they break, they put them back together with gold-infused resin, and they're even more beautiful than before. And then, of course, there's always Leonard Cohen. The cracks are there so the light gets out, gets in, but it also gets out. All the obstacles in your path, all the trials you rose above, all those faults that you think you have, they are why you are loved. And your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you you. And the cracks are there so your light shines, your light shines. It's true. You are not perfect, but no one is perfect, and that matters so much less than you expect. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you you. And the cracks are there so your light shines, your light shines, your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you you. And the cracks are there so your light shines, your light shines through.
Yay.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Ian, and thank you to Lara. This was such a wonderful show, and thank you for making it that way.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. No, actually, it's 1 week. Yeah, this week it's not. I mean, you know, I kind of named it Any Sunday Songwriters because I can do it any Sunday I want. It's my show.
Yeah.
And on June 5th, we'll have Amy Dixon Kohler and Dave Mason. And for those of you who know either one or both of them, you know that's going to be a fabulous show too. And I'm very excited about it. So please come. And if you don't have the link, send me your email address. Tell me that's why you're sending it. And I'll send you the link and and no spam. No spam ever, I promise.
Thank
Okay?
you,
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good evening.
Good night, y'all.
Thank
Get some sleep, Janet.
Okay.
Hi, Janet.
Bye.
Look
This
after
is my
yourself.
early night. The rest of the night goes later.